So next part of the video is finding electric field due to charged ring. It's complete ring now. But again, where we are taking the point? Point we are taking on the axis of the ring. What is the meaning of axis of the ring? Like if you are drawing a line passing through center and perpendicular to ring plane. Means how you need to imagine this diagram is something like, imagine a ring is kept perpendicular to board. Okay, ring is kept perpendicular to board and we are taking horizontally line like this. This is the axis. So if the ring is like this and this chalk is the axis. Okay, so axis and ring both are perpendicular to each other. Remember that plane. And imagine like half of the ring is out of the board, half of the ring is inside the board. Now you take the axis is on the board. So this here imagination is important to understand that directions. Okay. Now at a point P, at a distance of x from the center, we want to find out the electric field value. So as usual, what we have to do is, we have to take a, if you want you can take one more thing, that is R is the radius of the ring, total charge on the ring is Q. Now I am taking a very small part at the topmost point, like which is on the board. If I take small part, then charge on the small part. Charge on the small part I can write down. Small part is simply I am taking as dq. So I didn't take any small part dimension, means dx length, d theta angle. So those dimensions I didn't take anything here. Simply it's a charge on the small part is dq. So what is the exact value of the dq? We don't know. It's a simply dq, because I tell you there is an importance for this. No need to take any dimensions of the small part. So charge on the small part is dq. That is a given thing. Now if I am taking this is the dq, small charge, then what is the field at P point due to that small part? The field, to know the field we require the distance of the point from the charge. So this is R and this is x, so this will be root of R square plus x square. Okay, so distance we came to know. Obviously next what is required? Along the line joining only field direction will be there. So already we joined the line, so I can draw the field is away from it because it is carrying the positive charge. As it is carrying the positive charge, field will be away from it along the line joining. And distance I know. Then I can write down the dA value, which is field magnitude I can write down, which is what dA magnitude is equal to. This is vector direction and magnitude is dA root, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. dq is the charge. dq by distance square, which is r square plus x square. And one more thing is, okay, so please don't confuse, most of the students will have a confusion over here. Here whatever x I have taken, x is not variable. X is the distance between whatever point I have taken and center. Means x is constant, not variable. Don't integrate the x over here. X is constant in this expression. Yeah, this is the dA direction, dA magnitude, and this is the dA direction. Okay. Now what we have to do is, to find out the net field, I told you that to find out the net field, don't directly integrate the dE. What you have to do is, you have to check the dE directions. Means you have to take the remaining parts of the object and find the direction of the electric field. So here you can understand that different parts will have the different directions. That's why I am taking the symmetrical opposite part. As I have taken the topmost point, now I am taking the bottommost point. Exactly same dimensions of the small part. Then what is the charge on this small part also? dq. Then along the line joining field will be there. Then distance will be r and x, root of r square plus x square. Distance also same. So field value also same. Field value is nothing but electric field intensity. Usually I call it as field value, which is nothing but field magnitude. So dE will be in the dE direction will be along the line joining, away from it. So these two parts will have the dE direction like this. If I take every part, then all dA direction will be something like a cone. They come out as a cone. Okay. Some dE directions will be like this, some dE directions will be inside the board. So if I am taking this is the point P, then all the dE directions will be like a cone. They come out as a cone, something like this. So we have to find out resultant of all these vectors. Then how to do it? If I take this angle as theta, obviously this angle also will be theta, symmetry. Like that you take any small part, that part will make an angle theta with the P point. It's something like a cone structure. If I am connecting a P point to every point of the ring, that create a cone. Okay. So then this angle will be theta. I can make even this also theta. I can make the components of one vector dE cos theta and dE sin theta. So here we are taking only two vectors, like that you can imagine so many vectors. Here D is making angle theta again, so D cos theta and D sin theta. Okay, so D sin theta and D sin theta will cancel out, like that. If you make every D into D cos theta, D sin theta, all D sin thetas will cancel out like this. All D cos thetas will add up. Okay, so all will be at some angle. If I make components, all D cos thetas will add up. All D sin thetas will cancel out. They will be something like this. So diagram you need to understand. Okay. So D cos thetas are in the direction, same direction. D sin thetas are cancelling out. Then what is the net electric field I can write down? Net electric field I can write down as integral D cos theta. Integral D cos theta due to each and every small part of the ring. If you are taking the 2 times of D cos theta, then you have to integrate for half of the ring. So here I am taking only D cos theta, means I need to do integration for complete ring. Okay. So then net electric field strength magnitude is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will come out, because that's a constant. Even r square plus x square also constant, that also you can take it out. R square plus x square. Now integral D cos theta is nothing but dq cos theta. Integral dq cos theta is there. Okay. So net electric field I can write down. This is cos theta also even constant. Theta is constant. Theta is not variable. So I can write down one thing. Cos theta by 4 pi epsilon naught r square plus x square multiplied with integral dq. What is the meaning of integral dq? Addition of small charge on each and every small part. So on each and every small part, if you are adding the charge, you take some number of small parts, each small part will have some charge. If you are adding every charge on the small part, then you will get the total charge on the ring. So integral dq will give you total charge. Okay. So then net electric field I can write down. Cos theta value we can write down from here. What is the cos theta value is equal to? Cos theta is equal to x by root of r square plus x square. If I am writing the cos theta value over here, then x you will get in the numerator, root of r square plus x square in the denominator. So I will get ultimately what? Integral dq value is q into x by 4 pi epsilon naught r square plus x square raised to 3 pi 2. This is the net electric field value. And how the electric field is? Along the axis. Along the axis of the ring, as it is carrying the positive charge, field will be away from it. This is the net electric field direction. Okay, and this is the magnitude. So magnitude depends on distance x, even radius of the ring also, charge of the ring obviously. Here we can write down one important conclusions, that is, if I am going the field at the center of the ring, suppose if I want to calculate the field at the center of the ring directly, that means I have to take the P point to center. Then what is the x value? Obviously 0. If I am calculating the field value at the center, then x value will be 0. So if I keep x value 0 in the expression, then you will get automatically 0. So this is the one point you need to directly remember. Field at the center of the ring is 0. Okay, and remember this is uniform distribution. If it is non-uniform distribution, then you don't get field value 0. If it is uniform distribution, then only you get the field value 0. If non-uniform distribution, then dA and dE won't be equal. Here distribution is different, here distribution is different. dq value here different, here also will be different. Then dE's will differ. Then dE sin theta also won't cancel out, dE sin theta also will exist. So then everything will change. Okay. So I leave it to you to think about it. So if more demand comes from the viewers, then I'll make a different video on the what is that non-uniform distribution ring. Okay. Now here one more analysis, that is, if x is very small, compared to r, that means I am taking the point very close to ring. If I take the point very close to center of the ring, then x value will become very small compared to r. Then what about the field value? Field value will become q into x by obviously 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, x is very small compared to r, so I can leave the x square. Okay, then I will get only r square down, r square raised to 3 by 2. So you will get r cube. Then field is proportional to x. then field is proportional to x you are getting when you are very close to ring. Let us go with one more thing, that is x is far greater than r, means I am going far away from the ring. If I move far away from the ring, then what is the field value? As x is very far greater than r, I can write down q into x by 4 pi epsilon naught as it is. Whereas now r is negligible compared to x square. As r is negligible, I will remove the r square, x square raised to 3 by 2. Then it is what? X cube. Okay. So then x and x cube cancel out, you will get x square. So field value is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught x square. So what is the analysis from this? If x is very small compared to r, means very close to ring, the field is proportional to x. If you are going far away from the ring, means x value is very greater. If you are going far away from the ring, then field is q by 4 pi epsilon naught x square, means the ring is almost looks like a point charge. As you are moving very far away from the ring, then ring looks like a point charge only. Okay, so it's something like a field due to point charge, q by 4 pi epsilon naught x square. So I can write down one thing. If this is the ring and this is the axis, very close to ring, field is proportional to x, means field value will increase. We know that field is 0. So I am drawing indirectly the graph between field and distance of the point from the center of the ring. This is a graph actually, field magnitude variation. Okay. So then as your x value is increasing near to ring, x value increases, field value has to increase. Very far away from the ring, as x value increases, field value has to decrease. You can see that E proportional to 1 by x square. If I take the x is very far, that means here it has to decrease. Okay, proportional to x square, it has to increase linearly. So obviously not exactly linear, linear is an approximation. So that means it is increasing and decreasing, means somewhere it has to gain the maximum field value. So this is the maximum field value that we can find out. At some place of x you will get the maximum field value, and if you are going far away from the ring, it will be inversely proportional to x square. If it is close to ring, then it is proportional to x. So then this x value, the x value at which maximum field will happen is r by root 2. At a distance of r by root 2, you will find the what they say that field value is maximum. Then how to identify x value is r by root 2. So we know that what is the field due to ring is, field due to ring I am writing here, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q into x by x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2. This is the field value. Now I am taking the field variation with x, then I want to go with dE by dx. Okay, so I take the constants out. This q by 4 pi epsilon naught I am taking out. Okay, so then d by dx of x by x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so it is something like a u by v method. Then what is the dE by dx value I can write down? dE by dx value is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught constant multiplied with, okay, so d by, I am writing the formula, d by dx of u by v formula is by v square, v into du by dx obviously, minus u into dv by dx. Okay, so this is the formula for what? d by dx of u by v. So then v square, if I do v square for this, I will get x square plus r square whole cube whole raised to 3 by 2. This is u and this is v square I wrote. Next, v into dE by dx. What is the v value? V value is same, x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2, and derivative of x is 1. Okay, minus, now u into x into, now derivative of this part. So the derivative of this part is, I can write down 3 by 2 into x square plus r square raised to minus, 1 by 2, 3 by 2 minus 1. Again x square derivative, you will get 2x. Please, I suggest to solve yourself this part. You try to solve this derivative part, use that what is that u by v method, try to solve the same thing, and then we will get a what is that answer for this. Then dE by dx is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught, okay, here we can take x square plus r square, 3 by 2 is there. Here x square plus r square, 1 by 2 is there. I mean half, root. So I can take x square plus r square 1 by 2 common. Then I'll get here x square plus r square, x square plus r square. If I take x square plus root of x square plus r square common, then minus of this 2 and 2 cancel out. You will get 3x square by x square plus r square whole cube multiplied with x square plus r square raised to 1 by 2. From the numerator I have taken x square plus r square raised to 1 by 2 common. Then for maximum value, we know that for maximum value dA by dx value should be equal to 0. Okay, so this implies dA by dx value 0. This value has to be 0. This value won't be 0, not equal to 0. Even this also not equal to 0. X value will be there, r value will be there. So obviously there is no question of denominator will become what is it, that infinity. So then numerator value, this value has to be 0. That is only the value possibility to become a 0. So that's why I am writing as x square or else, okay. I'll write down r square minus 2x square, directly value I am writing. R square minus 2x square is equal to 0. Then r square is equal to 2x square. Then x square is equal to r square by 2. Then x value is equal to plus or minus r by root 2. So what is the meaning of plus or minus r by root 2? R by root 2 on one side, r by root 2 on other side. That is the meaning. Okay. So you take any side of r by root 2, then there you will get the maximum field value. Now if you keep the x value over here, then you will get maximum value of the field also. So how to find out the maximum value of the field? E max is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught as it is, constant, okay, into x value is r by root 2 by x square plus r square, means x square is nothing but r square by 2, because x is r by root 2. X is r by root 2, then x square will become, see, x square plus r square I am solving, then r square by 2 plus r square. Okay, so this is 3 by 2. Raised to 3 by 2 again. Raised to 3 by 2, so that I can write down the direct value over here. Then 3 by 2 r square raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so then I can write down like this. 3 by 2 under root 3 by 2 into r cube. That is the value. Hope you are able to see. 3 by 2 raised to 3 by 2. I can write down 3 by 2 into root of 3 by 2. Then maximum value of the field is q by 4 pi epsilon naught. See, root 2 root 3 cancel out here. Okay, so then 2 is a cancel, it cancels out. Then q by 6, 3 2 is a 6. Okay, root 3 also will be there. Pi epsilon naught r square. Okay, so q by 6 root 3 pi epsilon naught r square. So this is the one thing I told while solving the mathematics. Like if you are watching any mathematics video or physics video, and sometimes the physics involves with more of mathematics. Whenever more mathematics comes, please have a pen and paper and write down all the equations so that you will understand easily all these things. Okay, so this is the maximum value of the field, and this is the place where you are getting the maximum value at x is equal to r by root 2. Next we are going to see or learn about the field due to charged disk. Okay, now disk is carrying some charge. Then what is the field due to disk? So I made a one integration already ready-made, so which I am going to use in finding the field due to disk. So keeping aside this part first, okay, then I will take a one disk. This is the disk. Again, disk is also kept. To show the difference, I am filling with this chalk diagram. Okay, so this is the charge disk. Everywhere it is carrying some positive charge. Okay. Total charge I am taking as sigma. Sigma is the charge density. So I want to write down in terms of sigma. Sigma is the charge per unit area. And the radius of the disk is r. R is the radius. Now this is the axis, same as ring. Again, axis line passing through center of the disk and perpendicular to disk plane. Then I am taking a one point randomly p, which is at a distance of, I am taking at x. Again, x is not variable, we should not integrate the x. X is constant. So it's better I am writing here. x is constant, not variable. No? Okay, so you can choose anything. You can choose the d, you can choose L, so you can choose anyway. So I am choosing the x, because if I move the p point, then x is a variable. I am not moving the p point is fixed. Now again, to integrate, what you have to do is we have to take a small part. So for disk, there are two type of small parts are existing. One is called a sector, other one is ring. Means if I am taking a disk can be taken into different sectors. Then one small part of a disk can be a sector. The same thing, disk can be taken as different combination of rings. So what is the best example I used to give, like onion. If you cut the onion or the disk, like what you will be served in hotels, onion, if you see onion disk, then if you push at the center, then you will get different rings. Okay, so combination of different radius of rings will give you a disk. So similarly here, so ring is a small part, even sector also small part. But I'll go with the ring. Why? Because I know the field due to ring. That's why I choose the small part of the disk as a ring. If I know the field due to sector, then I can choose the sector also. But we don't know what is the field due to sector. So if you want to find out the field due to sector, again you have to integrate. Okay. So better than already ready-made idea is what? We know field due to ring. So that's why I'm taking my small part as what? Ring. This is my small part. I think you are able to see. Okay. So radius of the ring I'm taking as smaller. Thickness of the ring I'm taking as dr. Then what is my variable? My variable is smaller, where r value changes from 0 to capital R. R changes from 0 to capital R. Okay. So now we got, now diagram will change. What is a small part is? Small part is a ring of radius smaller. Now P is the point at a distance of x. Okay. So then what is the charge on the ring? Charge on the ring I can write down dq is equal to sigma into area. Area in which charge is present. Means this area, this highlighted area should be found out. Not pi r square. In the entire pi r square area charge is not present. Okay. Only that strip. In that strip only charge is present. So that's why the charge on the ring is equal to sigma into area of the strip. I can write down 2 pi r is the length of the ring, and what is the thickness of the ring is dr. So length into thickness will give you area. Length into width, you can say. Width is dr, length is 2 pi r. So this is the charge on the ring. If this is the charge on the ring, because of this ring, what is the field at P point? So I can write down that dE value is equal to, again 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, charge on the ring into distance of the point x by x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2, where r is the radius of the ring, x is the distance of the point. So this is the field due to ring. So if I take one more ring, okay, around it, then because of this ring also field will be in the same direction along the axis only. So that means you can take the disk into different small rings. All the rings will have the electric field in the same direction towards left. So that's why I can directly integrate. Okay, for net electric field. So I can write down net electric field due to disk is equal to. So I can take it out 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay. In the place of dq I can write down sigma into 2 pi. That is also constant, take it out. Sigma 2 pi constant. Then I will get integral, okay, r dr into x by x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2. Okay, so then it cancels out. Then net electric field is equal to sigma into x is not variable, I told you. X is constant here. X is constant. Even I wrote x is constant. So 2 pi and 4 pi you will get 2, and x will come out by 2 epsilon naught. Then integral r dr by r square plus x square raised to 3 by 2, obviously from 0 to r limits. Now same integration I wrote here. Here variable is x and constant is k. Variable is x, constant is k, then x dx by x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2 if I take x square plus k square as t, then I'll get 2x dx is the derivative, x square derivative, derivating on both sides dt. Then in the place of x dx I can write down dt by 2. In the place of x dx I can write down dt by 2. x square plus k square is t raised to 3 by 2. Then t raised to minus 3 by 2. If I go for integration, minus 3 by 2 plus 1, minus 3 by 2 plus 1, and half will come out. Then half and half will cancel out. Minus will be there. Minus of 1 by t raised to minus half means 1 by root t. So I can write down the integration value now. Net field is equal to sigma x by 2 epsilon naught into, okay, minus 1 by root t. Root t means x square plus k square, where x is variable means r square variable, k means x over here, x square under root, from where to where? 0 to r. Okay, so this is the net field due to disk. If I apply the limits, I'll get the final form. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to apply the limits first. Then net field value I can write down sigma into x by 2 epsilon naught into, that is the value I got. Okay, now in the place of small r, I have to write down the upper limit r, then minus 1 by root of r square plus x square, then minus of minus plus, in the place of smaller I have to write down the 0, then I'll get 1 by x, actually 1 by root of x square I'll get, so that I'm writing as 1 by x. Then net field value I can write down. Okay, so if I insert the x into the bracket, then sigma by 2 epsilon naught into x by x1 minus x by root of r square plus x square. Confusing or little tough to remember the formula. Okay, so I feel most of the, when I used to ask my students to tell me what is the field due to disk, then they used to see all the walls, fans. Okay, so this is a little tough to remember the formula. So then what is the easiest way to remember the formula? So we have to make some logics, otherwise everything we cannot derive in the examination. No? So sometimes we need to remember this. Okay, so this is the disk, charge disk, and this is the point P. What is this value? Is x distance, and this is r. Then surprisingly, what is this distance? If I connect any periphery point, any point on the periphery of the disk to P point, okay, so then this distance will become root of r square plus x square. Then what is the angle made by the disk at the P point? See, disk will make some angle at the P point, means if I am connecting the every point of the disk ends to the P point, you will get a one cone. So you can say that semi-apex angle. So that angle I am taking as theta. Then what is the cos theta value I can write down? Cos theta value is equal to x by root of x square plus r square. That means what is the net field value I can write down? Sigma by 2 epsilon naught. This you need to remember. Okay, 1 minus cos theta. That x by root of r square plus x square is cos theta. So this is the net field. See, something you need to remember. I feel this lower formula is better than upper formula. If you can remember this directly, it's very good. But I suggest for this, where theta is the angle made by the disk at P point. So what we got? We got field due to disk, something like this. This is the disk and this is the point. Okay. So what will be the angle made by the disk? Any periphery point. Okay. That angle, if I take theta, if it is carrying the positive charge, then field will be away from it. Then what is the field value I can write down? Sigma by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus cos theta, where theta is the angle over here, which is x by root of r square plus x square also. So there is advantage by with this formula, that is, by using this formula we can identify field due to, electric field due to infinite plate. Okay. Now I am taking the disk and this is the point, and what the angle is making is theta. Suppose if it is infinitely long, if I am extending the disk to infinitely long, imagine like I am expanding the disk to infinity. So then it's an infinitely large plate carrying some charge, which is charge density sigma. Infinite plate carrying the charge density sigma. Then as this disk is extended to infinity, then theta value will be extended to 90. Then theta value will become 90. Okay. So then what is the field value will be? Due to infinitely long plate, field value I can write down sigma by 2 epsilon naught into 1 minus cos 90. The theta value will become 90 because it is infinitely extended. then cos 90 goes to 0, then what is the field due to infinitely long plate is sigma vector epsilon naught, which is constant and does not depend on the distance of the point from the plate. So anyway, we are going to derive this part by using Gauss law next parts. Okay, even here I am stopping the derivations because it is becoming too lengthy. Field due to spheres, hollow sphere or non-conducting sphere, charged spheres, we solve by using the Gauss law. Okay. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel, and for more updated videos, please hit the bell icon. And I attached the assignment as well as notes in the description box. You can see the link so that you can download the notes at the same time assignment also to solve the questions. And if you have any doubts, please tell me in the comment section so that I'll try to clear that. Okay. So you watched my JEE Physics channel. Thank you so much.